So let's start. Welcome, Nidhi. It is so great that you are here with us today. And today's topic is very, very, very interesting. So it is the mystery of inner purity. And what comes to purity, it's really a little bit of mystery. What is it really? Somehow we are connecting it, maybe that children, they are so pure and innocent, but is it really possible when we become adults to become pure? And what does it actually mean? And is it possible for just an ordinary human being to become pure and divine? So most welcome, Nidhi from London, and I will give a little bit introduction of you. So Nidhi Sukhla is part of the team at Inner Space Wembley, and she has been living a life of spirituality since childhood, which is reflected in her creativity, boundless energy. She is dynamic and inspiring speaker and speaks regularly on a wide range of themes relating to personal development. With interest in psychology, she easily makes friends and people feel comfortable in her company. And she recently was trained as a mental health first aider. She is also a team member of BKUN SDG1 Eradicating Poverty and for the Commission for Social Development. So amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
And I would like to add something about you, that you are a perfect speaker for purity, because this is something what I really see in you. And I'm sure that everyone who is joining today, they can also see and feel that energy of purity, which is reflecting from your eyes and from your behavior. So I really cannot wait until hearing your thoughts about purity and making it very inspiring to all of us to really gain that spiritual purity. So welcome, Nidhi, once more, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Ella. And purity is very simple. It's not mysterious, but we have made it mysterious. And I would really want everyone who's listening to me today, if we can just take a moment, one moment, and in this one moment, just let go of everything that's on your mind right now. In this very moment, I just become myself. Let go of all the labels, let go of all the worries, let go of all the responsibilities. I have to do this, do that. I am this, I am that. Absolutely let go of everything for just 1 minute. Take a deep breath in. Go within. And as you go to the deepest core of yourself, to the purest part of your being, and in that moment, maybe just remember when you were a child. You can bring up a photograph of you in your memory track as a child, smiling, giggling, your cutest form that you have ever seen or you remember. And just be with your younger self. and see how you feel. Just observe yourself. And whatever you feel free to put that in the chat box. When I connect to my innocent, purest form, how am I feeling right now? You can put in the chat box. I feel natural, happy, carefree. What else? Anyone? You can take a moment, get connected to yourself, and let us know. Your own smiling face. Or maybe feel peaceful. Maybe this can help you to reflect yourself. What do you see in these images? When you see these little pure souls in front of you, what is it that reflects in you? What is the first thing that you notice? Anyone? Are you able to see the screen, Sister? Sister Ella, can you translate that for me?
Yes, we can see the picture well, and here is innocence and happiness.
Innocence, happiness, pure joy. And can we resemble to it? Can we resonate to these feelings? Because somewhere this is what we all want to be, isn't it? No matter what happens in our lives, no matter what life throws on us, brings in front of us, what we are seeing, what we are feeling, what's happening around us, or what we are striving for, moving for, I'm doing a job, I'm earning money. Why? I want comfort. Why? I want to be happy. So every time we are asking this big question to myself, that why I'm doing what I'm doing, it boils down to one or two answers. And that is, I want happiness, I want peace, and I want love. Isn't it? We all are looking for just basic things. And when we talk about purity, actually, purity is the mother of all three. Purity is mother of happiness, peace, and love. So if I want to experience these beautiful qualities in everything I do, in myself, in my interactions, in my relationships, the best way is to understand the word purity. And right now, the image that we saw on the screen, and it was very easy to relate, or even when we reflected in ourselves, it was very simple, very easy to say, it looks beautiful, it looks innocent, joyful. There is no fear. Everybody is on the same wavelength. Now, that's what purity is. And it's nothing new to me or to you, because we all have lived it in this journey of life at one point. Over the journey, what has happened is there's a lot of you know, layers that we have taken on board. Like, say, for example, I'm wearing this white dress and I just go out and I do some gardening or I play with kids. And in that journey, in that 1 hour, I might, accumulate some dirt on my dress. And what is needed? When I see myself being a little bit dirty, a little bit dirt here and there, what I need to do is just clean it up. And this cleaning process is very interesting. So life is not to become pure. That's not the mission of life. The whole journey is about to clean, cleanse, and be who I am, my true state. Purity is nothing that I have to achieve. Purity is there in me forever. What I need to do is, on the journey, that might be a lot of dirt that I have accumulated in the form of hurt, pain, some memories, something that is not allowing me to experience the same peace, the same love, the same happiness that I used to in the early days of this life. So today, when we say mystery is something that you want to know. It's not very easy to understand. It's not very easy to decode. And it's not purity that is difficult to decode, but it's the process to regain or to re-experience purity. And there's a beautiful question that Sister Ella asked in the beginning, that is it possible for me as an ordinary human being to become pure? And when we say pure and divine, it's like a whole package, package of someone who's complete with all virtues, complete with all care and all qualities, and it's perfect. Or maybe, in other words, I can say, it's the highest version of myself. Perfect. Now, is it possible? What do you guys feel? Do you think it's really possible? Of course, it is. But how? And when I'm talking about elevating my life, becoming the best version of myself, becoming the highest version of myself, and when I'm talking of self, many of you have been listening to the talks regularly every week. And when we talk about self, we're not talking of just this body, but we're talking about the companionship of the body and the soul, the energy. They're both together. And when we're talking about inner purity, it's about the cleanliness which is there within me. Like, say, for example, when we talk about the purity of the body, we're talking about the cleanliness of the body, how clean I keep my body, what kind of food do I give to my body? Is the food pure? Is my relationships pure? Is the actions that I'm performing through this body good, clean? Are they respectful towards each other? So external purity, and some cases, most of people do understand to be celibate is also part of purity because you're respecting the body at the highest form. But when we talk about inner purity, the inner purity is in 3 levels. One, today in our morning spiritual class, there's a beautiful explanation of this, which said that there's 3 levels of purity. One is my mind. Second is my heart. And third, my relationship. Of course, body is there, the first one. But if I'm thinking about purity and achieving that highest stage of purity, which means coming back to my original stage and cleaning everything that is there, the first thing, an important thing, is my awareness. What is there in my awareness? And how do I create this awareness? Because awareness, it comes from my past memories, my subconscious. So if I can understand that my truest quality is of being pure, is of being love, of being happy. And I operate from that consciousness of me being that source of energy. If that stays in my constant awareness, then automatically my vision changes. My perception changes. The way I see the world changes. There's a beautiful saying, and many spiritual leaders and spiritual personalities have used this, and we do use in Brahma Kumaris as well. And they say that when one person starts observing himself or herself, or to observe oneself without any evaluation or judgment, is the highest form of intelligence. When I see myself, I observe myself without any judgment, without evaluating myself. Now, this is the first step. Because when I'm reflecting on myself, I might say, oh, Nidhi, you've not done this right. This is not how you might have done. You could have done a bit better. So what I'm doing is I'm judging my own self. I'm evaluating my own self. And in the process, unknowingly, I'm creating a vision, an impression of my own self. I'm creating an image about myself. And this image, every time I start creating these images of myself, sometimes I might feel low because I'm not very happy with the images that I create, isn't it? Sometimes I get the arrogance of, oh, wow, that's great. So either superiority or inferiority are not sign of neutral or naturalness. They are something I'm creating. It's an illusion that I'm creating. And any kind of illusions will not allow my true purity, my true self to be revealed. So when I'm creating this image of myself, I start feeling low. I start losing the control. I go away from my truth because I've created a false identity. You can call it ego. Even I'm feeling low, but that's my ego, low self-esteem. It's the other spectrum of ego, a false illusion. Ego is nothing but a false illusion, a false identity that I give to myself, which takes me away from my truth, my purity. And in that moment, with that impression, with that image, my interactions will start getting influenced. And then what happens? I start taking sorrow. I start feeling guilty. All the defects starts coming, the weaknesses starts erupting, and I am reinforcing that image again and again. So what is happening? My mind is not clean anymore. A, I have not seen myself in my truest form. B, I'm not able to see others as they are in their purest form. So I'm constantly, unknowingly, not intentionally, but creating a habit of judging. If I want to come back to that sense of purity, the first and foremost thing is I have to break this habit. I have to break the habit of evaluating, suspend judgment from my life. And once I can, how do I do that? And that comes the purity of my heart, honesty, checking. My regular checking, it says that progress, any kind of progress, comes from honest checking, asking valuable questions to yourself. Nothing is out there. It says that if I want to change everything that's happening outside me, I have to go within and change my inner mechanism. And when I can change my inner mechanism, everything outside will be okay, will fall into place. So what is honest checking? How can I do that honest checking, that honesty? And sometimes when we ask ourselves question, it might be not very comfortable to answer because we might be hiding it away. We might be running away from the truth. We might not want to face it. But the moment I take the courage to face my fears, I experience something called freedom. Beautiful. And what is the first step? The first step is to love myself as I am. I might have made a lot of labels and a lot of images of myself, of how I am. I might be feeling low of myself. I might not feeling so pure about myself. That's okay. In this moment, it's fine. But can I take a pause? And can I see what are the good things in me? And what are the things that can bring value in me? Maybe just one point. And focusing and giving energy to that one point, that one thing, that one value, that one quality, that one strength will help me reflect and go deeper and see the other resources that I have within myself. And then with the help of those resources, it will be easy for me to let go of those false identities, the false impressions that I've created for myself and for others. And when I'm letting that go in that reflection, there is a vacuum that's been created. Now, how many times y'all might have gone through these feelings when you said, okay, I'm not going to be angry from tomorrow. I'm going to quit anger. And we actually make efforts to do that. And there is no anger in that moment, but I don't know what else to do. So I go back to being angry more than ever, because there's that vacuum that's been created. And to fill that vacuum, there's a beautiful word that if we incorporate in our lives, it's going to make a big difference. And that word is newness. It's new year. So what newness I'm going to bring within myself that will make me feel content. And that contentment will start reflecting in my actions and my behaviors. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful blend. The first step is awareness. I clean my mind. I'm not judging. I'm not seeing anybody, what they are doing, why they are doing. No waste thoughts. I'm allowing my mind to be free from that waste. Spirituality, seeing the reality of the spirit. It's called spirituality. Seeing the truth of the spirit. And we know there is this understanding that we all are spiritual beings. So do I have that vision that I can see each and every one as that energy? In Brahma Kumaris, we understand that my awareness, it's a beautiful Hindi word called smriti, which means my awareness. And whatever is in my awareness will reflect in my attitude, in my vritti. So if my awareness is powerful, if there is purity in my awareness, there's going to be purity in my attitude, my intentions, my motives. And if there is that purity in my intentions, motive, and attitudes, there's going to be purity in my vision, my perception. There might be something very, very not right that's happening with me in my life. There is a situation, there is a scenario which is awful, which is not nice, which is not happy. But if my awareness is right, if my attitude is right, then seeing that situation, my vision will pick up what is right in that unrighteous state which is happening in front of me. And when I'm able to pick up what is happening right, the scene doesn't look right, but I know that there's something hidden which I am not able to see, and I'm putting my energies in the right direction, and I can pick that vibrations. What is the scene telling me, teaching me, or guiding me to? Sometimes people don't have great experiences, maybe some childhood trauma or something, but then when they reflect back, they understand that because this happened to me today, I am at this position. So that has helped me to be where I am. So my awareness is reflected in my attitude. My attitude is reflected in my perception, my vision, and then it becomes my action. And these actions then create my world, my destiny. And together we create a culture of purity. So yes, it's very much possible that from an ordinary human, I can become a divine human or a pure human being or highest or the best version of myself just by simply, I'm not going into the depths or complicating it, but just simplifying it to what my awareness is in this moment in time. And everything else will be taken care of. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sister Ella, you told me to share for half an hour, and you want to ask some questions?
Yes, thank you, Sister Nidhi. It was really, really inspiring to listen to you and how you made it look and sound so simple. And yeah, it is simple. I think all of us, we agree with that. But what would you say now that you know now if there is someone who really, really wants to become pure, so where to start, what to do in practical life?
If I really, really want to become pure, I just have to think about it. Purity is just a thought away. When I go within myself and choose to be pure, it's a decision. So if I want to become pure, the first step is to take a conscious decision that and have clarity. Because to be pure sometimes sounds great, wow, that's so nice. But why am I doing that? Why do I want to be pure? I need to have clarity. Like, what is the purpose? And when I'm asking these questions and I'm getting the right answers, there's a direction that I'm creating. And yes, when there is the will and there is clarity, there is power. And with that power, I start my journey. So my foundation becomes strong. And the purity is not about changing my life drastically or doing big, big things. No, it starts from very simple step. Simple step like maybe every hour, I just look at myself and have an appointment with myself for 2 minutes or a minute. And just going deeper and touching base with my pure self and coming back, just to begin with, right? And once I've done that for 1 week, I'll see that my feelings, my attitude, my thinking, my inner happiness, my joy has changed, has shifted, has been increased. I can see that increase in it. And with that, when I'm seeing the result, it helps me to take another step forward. So step by step, I can achieve and make it complete. And most importantly, in this journey, when I begin my journey, always remember that I'm not alone in this journey. Because anything that I want to do with just myself, there might be moments where I might not be that strong to go forward. But who is my companion? Or who do I choose to be my companion on this journey? Because remember, I said ask questions before you begin your journey and be sure. So, who is my companion in this journey? And rather than making someone or somebody else my companion, being dependent on them, is it possible for me to make the source of purity, the source of divinity my companion? And if I can establish that relationship, A, with myself, and B, with the divine, the supreme source, the journey is going to be very easy.
Thank you. That was the magical tip, the companionship, what is available. And just a reminder to everyone that anyone can ask the questions by writing them to the chat box. So feel free to just ask anything you would like, either Finnish or English. Now it is very good opportunity. But while we are waiting the questions from audience, one more question for me. What about, you mentioned about that sometimes there can be even trauma from the childhood. And so what would be your advice? Because sometimes it can be really strong trauma. And so what to do, how to start the healing process?
The very first thing I would say is acceptance of myself. Because I had first-hand experience with people who had gone through trauma, and I understood when I was talking to them, and they weren't very comfortable sharing about it, because somewhere they felt that it was defaming or it was a part of shame that they had to go through this. So if there is any trauma that I had to go through, can I just take a deep breath and say, it's okay? In Raja Yoga philosophy, I don't know how many of you have done the Raja Yoga course, but there is one session which talks about soul's inner power. And amongst those power, there's one power called a power to tolerate. And when you do the course, you'll see a beautiful picture of a tree. And there's a boy who's throwing stones to this fully loaded tree with fruits, because the boy is hungry and he wants to eat. So he keeps on throwing stones. And the tree, in return, it's giving fruits, dropping the fruits down. So when life is throwing stones to me, the very first experience and understanding that spirituality gives me is, I am a tree which is fully loaded with fruits. That's a realization. And when this acceptance comes, why me? No, why me? Why I have to go through all this? What's wrong with me? What I have done? And allowing that trail of negative thoughts to dive on me. Can I break it and take a pause and see there is something beautiful in me that I had to go through this? Nobody else could go except me. I have the power to face it. I had the power to go through this and still be who I am today. So allow that beautiful feeling of me facing it, power to face. And when I can accept myself, I can see my strength. I can see my own inner energy, that despite of all this, today I'm standing still. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to replace the feelings of fear, the feelings of hate, the feeling of shame into something which is more profound, into something which is full of truth, into something that is becoming a mirror to show me my inner strength, my inner power. And once I'm able to see my inner power, once I'm able to see myself, I can disidentify. Step 2 is to disidentify myself from that scene of my life. because that scene does not define me. No, it was just a scene. And I'm seeing, okay, it was not very nice. I did not feel comfortable. It did not give me any sense of self-worth at that moment. Agree. But it is past. It's gone. Today, I can see that self-worth. So in this moment, step 3, I have a choice. Do I want to still hang on to those past memories? Or do I want to take the first step of courage? And this is where purity comes in. Cleaning the unwantedness. Like say, for example, I'm not a great painter, but if I'm trying to pen down something, to draw something, and if it doesn't come exactly like I want, no, what do? I chuck it off. I don't want this, throw it in the bin, right? So there are so many memories or so many experiences that I might have acquired in this journey of life, which are not so nice. So can I use that power to choose and decide and take that decision that this particular thing is not adding any value to me now? Can I just let it go? Can I be free? Letting go is not to avoid it. Letting go is not to reject it. But letting go means to be free from the influence of what's happening. Like say, for example, a child, somebody might hit a child. The child would cry for a minute. And then you show something different, the child will forget about it. No, that's purity. That I'm not allowing the influence of any situation impact my conscious or subconscious mind in this moment. So trauma was past. But if I still hold on to it, I am ruining my future myself. So coming in terms with it, doing reconciliation with it, and being yourself. That's over. What now? What next? And that's when I said the word newness. Something that happened to me might not be my choice. That time, situation was not in my hands. I couldn't do anything about it, even today and then. But what I can do now, how can I change it? How can I replace it? What newness I can bring into my life that gets completely merged.
That was a wonderful example of the child. It's so true because of the purity. So you just give a new toy and the bad feelings are gone.
It's gone.
So yeah, so we need to do the same thing for ourselves.
I think we need to be easy with ourselves. We need to love ourselves more than ever before. Because holding on to this experiencing, I'm not loving to myself. I'm being hard on myself, which is not very nice. And that's why today, everything might be perfect. I might have a perfect family, perfect house, money, everything. But there is a wave of sadness. There is a wave of that joy or that peace is missing. So even in my journey, I need to be reflecting on what is that which is breaking my peace of mind now? Is what kind of thoughts I'm creating? That's not allowing me to be happy. That's not allowing me to experience that joy. And in that moment, I take a pause, recreate, bring that shift, bring that newness. Simple step, but has a great impact. Try it, and you can let us know later.
Great. So I'm sure we are all trying it. So what about when thinking about, you spoke about companionship with the source, but then also some human company is very good when there is like someone who is pure, positive, and has already been in this journey. That type of company can help a lot. So maybe if you would like to share then that what about, because we need to be also sometimes in the company of very negative persons. So should we try to avoid some company and be in the company which is uplifting us? Or is there some kind of balance there? What to do?
Very interesting question, sister. It is said that the company you have, physical, emotional, or subtle, any kind of company you have, has an impact on your mind and on your life. The company colors you, right? So physical company, yes, if I'm with people, surrounded with people who are negative, of course, I'm going to absorb that energy. If I'm surrounded with people who are positive, of course, I'm absorbing that energy. But interestingly, I might be with a person who's very positive, who is on a spiritual path, and I'm living with them day and night. But I have somebody else in my mind emotionally. Now, that person, maybe I've experienced separation, maybe I've experienced something, now, or maybe I'm influenced by their goodness or by their negativity. I'm angry on them. There's somebody who's constantly staying behind the back of my mind. Now, this also has an impact on my feelings, my emotion, and my life. So, physical company and emotional company, mental company, both have a beautiful, powerful influence. So, if I am choosing to have a life full of positivity, full of love and peace, I have to be sensible and see where is my energy draining out. And if, even emotionally, if I'm thinking about someone and that is draining my energy, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling, there's no balance there, then I have to take a pause and say, okay, no more. I have to replace that. And physically, yes, if it is possible, if I can avoid, great, because I'm protecting myself. It's not being mean, it's not being selfish, but it's about caring for myself. Because if I can be positive, tomorrow I can help them to be positive. So it's not disconnecting, but it's protecting. And the best company I can ever be is one who never judges me, is one who never evaluates. There's no condition. There's a lot of love, unconditional love, unconditional purity, and unconditional progress. There's happiness with our relationship. And that is of that divine. So I might be talking to you right now. I might be sharing right now. But back of my mind, rather than keeping a human being, if I can keep that supreme being with me, then that company of the source of positivity and the source of purity will influence my vision, will influence the vibrations that I am sharing. And not with others, but also on myself. I might be feeling very low in this moment, but if I am in that company, I feel elevated instantly. So that company allows me to grow and rise.
Amazing. So we have this invisible companion. We can just tap into that
Anytime.
companionship. So very good news. So thank you, Sister Nidhi. And now it's time for meditation. Would you like to guide us into beautiful experience of purity?
Okay. So request everyone who's listening, just take a few moments from whatever you are doing. Let your body relax. Take few deep breaths. And allow your mind to become stable, still. And as in this very moment, in this stability of my mind, I see my own reflection. Reflection of who I truly am. I am a beautiful creation of that supreme creator. I see myself as a pure creation of the supreme creator. And in this moment, I see my whole life journey and all the other emotions and experiences that I have acquired. All the illusions that I have created, which are not allowing or obstructing my inner pureness, that sweetness to come out on the surface. A lot of layers that I have created. All those impressions that weigh me down and make me feel heavy, unwanted, sad. In this moment of time, I take a deep breath in and accept them. And with this acceptance comes the ownership, where I can choose to let go of them. I'm not doing this alone. In this moment, I can feel the presence of my Supreme Creator, the musician, the perfect artist. And through the virtue of love, color of peace and happiness, all the spots that I can see on my being are being transformed. My life is being transformed into a masterpiece where I can see the importance of each and every scene, each and every experience. And as I can see the beauty in everything, I see that's a lot of cleansing that has already been happened. in this stillness, in this silence, I can feel the serenity within me, the purity that's there within me. And I allow this purity to come on the surface. Along with purity comes the whole family of happiness, peace, and love. And I see how these qualities, these virtues, are influencing and bringing newness in my thoughts, my words, and my actions. I see myself full of divinity. I see the reality of the Spirit, my true self. Of course, there's a lot of gratitude towards the Supreme Creator. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very beautiful meditation. And now we are ready to create culture of purity. And that was also wonderful to remember that with purity comes peace, love, and happiness. So how purity is the foundation of everything what we want into our life. And it's already existing inside of us. What a good news. So would you like to say the last words?
Congratulations to everyone just for being here for this last hour. And you've heard about purity, and you've heard about what Sister Ella just recapitulated, that it's there within me. I don't have to achieve it. I just have to use it. I just have to invoke it. So all the very best with the Supreme Companion, with the beautiful company of elevated and the souls who are on the spiritual journey. I'm sure we all together can create that for ourselves and for the world outside. So all the very best, and thank you for joining. Maybe if there is anything anybody wants to share or give feedback, you're most welcome to.
So thank you so much, Sister Nidhi. This was very enlightening, and now we are really ready to explore more in depth the purity. And I have the feeling that people really enjoyed. And I'm sure we are going to get some feedback maybe later, and we can share it with you.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you for inviting, and thank you for calling and having this opportunity to meet the beautiful group over here. So thank you once again to the Finland family.
Thank you.